That's what I was expecting. I'm like, going to cognitive behavior therapy.
What I'm working on now is checking my internal conversations. So when I'm thinking about something and I'm going a direction I shouldn't go, I check myself and reframe the question or reframe the attitude and approach it from that perspective. It's fascinating stuff. Yeah.
It is. I get giddy about talking about stuff like that. Like,
yeah, we had a session today where it's just phenomenal. And also he doesn't ask me questions.
Yep.
I mean, that's it.
Yep.
At one point I'm like, yes, spoon me. I was like, I'm just not getting it.
No, you have to learn on your own. It's you figure it out, not
Exactly. Like he says, it's inside me, whoever. It's inside you. Just gotta work through it and figure out how to work it out. I was so perceptive. Yeah, I don't even think if I would have saw someone do that, I would have read that connection.
well, and I'm 100% ingrained in it now. I'm teaching in 4 schools. So all I do is today is talk about psychology. So my significant other counselor.
Give them a lot of water.
All day, that's all we really talk about, things about, whatever. My poor children. They already, when we talk to them about their problems, my son, not right now, Mom, don't do this. He walks up. I don't need you to do that. You're doing it, Mom.
We're just looking at him as he's talking.
And so you said that he used my words to turn them on me, and I'm like, they're your words. You said it.
Right.
So did you find what you needed at Schnucks?
At where?
Schnucks when I saw you?
Not really. I always find something.
Yeah. I always find stuff that I'm not there to get. Right.
I'm going to take one of your classes.
Yeah. It's getting so expensive.
So much fun.
I was amazed. Good morning. Usually they're kind of shy. So I
So
They call you
I got Mike's daughter. She wasn't shy. She went too.
What'd she say? I think you know
Sorry,
my dad.
She was just budget. So a lot of these little 6th graders, you know, you can pick off the 6th graders.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just had this like. They say, are you a 6th grader? Yeah. I say, are you nervous?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to get out a little early, but I can get there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
there was one kid.
I'm pretty excited about that because he's going to take time to talk.
Tears.
I
Just
saw
overwhelmed with the whole
I
thing.
saw-
Mom's like, no, you gotta go.
I saw a lot of that. But, I mean, looking at the kindergartners and kindergarten parents, I wasn't sure who was worse. The kids and the parents. And then, poor Troy, he's opened up the doors. It was his first day on the job. And after he lets all the kids in, it says, just thinking about my son starting kindergarten over at Founders. I said, it's okay, Troy, it's okay. It was just, it was fun to see.
By the way, we talked about systems and transportation and all that issue. A mother told me today, she said, I am so impressed with the phone system. She said the other day, I don't remember which day, but the bus was going to be 20 minutes late. She got a phone call saying the bus was going to be 20 minutes late. She was thrilled.
Well, that's
But that reminds me, Jim, before we leave tonight, we talked to you about busing. No. All it is, they go from Rosette to the high school, and Glenn sits at the high school parking lot for 20 minutes, and you can just get out and walk over to the house.
Yeah, I don't see why you can't.
I've seen if they would drop them off by the sidewalk instead of back by the high school parking lot. You could just walk. Well, he tried. Yeah. So whoever I need to talk to,
You know what bus he's at?
I think it's 7. Goes from Rosette to the high school. If they just drop them off by the sidewalk, you can walk home and not wait there.
okay. I'd like to recall our regular meeting to order. Vicki, if I could have roll call, please.
Cohen Barnes,
Here.
Nina Fontana,
Here.
Michael Ward, Jessica Lyons,
Here.
Tom Mattia,
Here.
Mike Burbick,
Here.
Tracy Williams.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Barnes, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance tonight?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to apologize for the meeting. You're assuming you got here blowing my nose about 50 times. I've got battling with cold. Promise I won't shake anybody's hand, okay? All right. All right, we're going to begin with public participation. Members, do we have any? None that want to speak. Okay, we'll move right on to board committee reports. And I will just open it up and state that, we did not have any board committees, at least the ones that I'm assigned to meet since their last meeting, but I thought being at a couple of the schools that opened up last week, it was a great experience for me, and I know several of the board members who could also did that. Troy, I got to see you on your first day.
I appreciate you guys coming out there. I mean, I've never experienced the board so involved, and it's great you guys come out there. And teachers talked about it, students talked about it, so please keep doing it if you guys can. It's a welcome addition to our school.
Well, I think we'll continue to look for ways throughout the year to expose ourselves to the parents and be involved in the schools, and I think getting that exposure is healthy. So, any other board committee?
I heard the same thing that Troy just mentioned over and over again from people, but for me, it was just absolutely amazing to see that many kids flow into a school so fast and have administration and all our teachers corral them brilliantly, get everybody happy, motivated, and then bring them into the schools ready to go. I was amazed at the efficiency of the thing. I mean, it was just fantastic. So nice job.
Tracy?
We have an FFAC meeting tomorrow night at 6:30, I believe, here.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It may be canceled, so stay tuned.
Okay.
I won't know until tomorrow morning after I hear from
Okay, all right, so we may have one tomorrow. I think the FFAC is getting pretty close to making some recommendations here that'll be to the board that'll be rather significant, but I think worth listening to, and there's some merit to it, and certainly we've delved into it rather deeply. So I'm anxious to actually get that to you guys, and I think we're getting closer. Then the last thing, on a side note, I did want to mention having a sixth grader going into Rosette, we were able to experience firsthand the new web program that we approved last year. I have not heard from Huntley yet, but what I have heard from Rosette was nothing but positive. I think, if you're a sixth grader and we went to pick him up and we said, who's your eighth grade pals or whatever they're called? And it's Zoe and somebody else. And all of a sudden, I think the edge was off. So for those that brought the web program forward and those that have endorsed it and got behind it, it appears that there's not only real merit to it, but it was rather successful right out of the chute. So well done for the folks that did that.
I attended the one at Huntley. Jenny was helping facilitate, and it was amazing, the interaction between the 8th grade and the 6th grade. I was really impressed.
Do you mind if I say something?
It's up to time.
We actually had a teacher who had a stepson coming in as a 6th grader, and she said to us, he is so afraid, he doesn't know anybody, he's really having a hard time. And she said by the end of the evening, he had told her about 3 new friends that he had, and that he felt new to school. And it is really a wonderful way to take the edge off for kids and help them adjust.
One last thing, Tom, along, if I may, I'm sorry. kudos to Tammy as well, because while we were going through different rooms on the open house that evening, there was a table or two that had been overly used throughout the years and actually had sharp edges on it and a few other things. We showed Tammy, and the next day they were fixed. So I know Tammy went through the bulk of the buildings room by room herself. And so great job, Tammy. It shows.
Mike?
Yeah, just piggybacking on Cohen's comments, outstanding job. I attended Founders Elementary, and administration and staff did a great job of getting everyone in. There were 0 traffic issues, nothing like the experience of last year. So I think the pavement was well received, and it was certainly a much safer place for the students starting this year. And DeKalb High School was funny because I was standing out front with Tamara, and I felt like I should have had a sign that said principal, and with an arrow pointing at her, because all the students walking up not necessarily knowing who their new principal is. So it was fun.
And one last thing for Tammy. The buildings that I've been into, the preparation the maintenance crew did, and I sent it out to Jim, the one that passed along. I thought they did an outstanding job, not only in the buildings, but on the exterior as well. So again, kudos to that group.
Tyler, Friday morning, what is it, Go Active and Shine or something like that?
Rise and Shine.
Yes, Rise and Shine, 840. She's really excited about the target, $500. So I'll try my hardest to be there, and it's been a good start of the semester thus far. I mean, my kids are happy. It seems like everyone is very happy, and the teachers and stuff that I've been able to talk to are very excited. I do see a lot of people are giving feedback from Alfred Tatum's, work. And so a lot of teachers are really jumping on that immediately, and they're doing data teams early, and they're bringing in that nurturing piece. I want to know you as a person and a parent, so that way I can help your child at school. So we're seeing more of that. I'm a co-parent with you, and I want you to co-teach with me. And it's been really great to hear different teachers say that.
Excellent.
Hey, Tom, one last thing we're mentioning. The Olympic rowers will be back at Jefferson.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
About 6:15. It starts at 5:30. The ice cream.
Really cool.
Ice cream Olympians.
Man, they one place away from getting them out.
Okay. Very good. Thanks, everybody. All right, we're going to move into a presentation that we have for this evening. Dr. Heber is going to visit with us about the 2012 high school summer school and SOAR program. Give us an update. Jeannie?
Good evening.
Good evening.
You all received the information about summer school, and I just want to thank the board for funding summer school this year. We had 379 students successfully complete summer school, and that is the most ever. 41% increase over last summer. So that's just, it's awesome. At any given time with traditional summer school and Apex, which is the online version that some students took, along with driver's ed, and driver's ed is sorted out a little separately just because they're only in the building for 3 weeks. We had over 500 students in the building for summer school. So it was just a wonderful summer for our DHS students. We had 11 students receive their diplomas as a result of completing summer school this summer. 10 of them went on the 11-12 school year, and one was a little bit later, so he'll go on this coming school year as graduating. So I think Doug mathematically said that boosted us 2.5%.
Graduation.
So that was a good thing as well. So we offered traditional summer school. We had the Apex, which is the online portion, and then through Ombudsman, which is students have to pay for that. It's a little bit different than the traditional summer school or the Apex. That's sorted out differently, and they pay for that. But we had 3 different options for our students to choose from, and it was extremely well received. So thank you so very much.
Jenny, I had a question about the Apex. Is that I know it's online, but are those specific classes that maybe we aren't offering, or we don't have enough to have the class, or?
Those, the majority of the students that are taking that are recovering credit, and the traditional summer school didn't fit for them,
Okay.
and so they chose that. Very few of our students take that to get ahead, but sometimes they do. You know, and student schedules are so tight at the high school that being able to get government or econ ed or speech off your plate, it's a half a credit, but being able to get that off your plate opens up your schedule to take another class that you either need or an elective. So it does, every little bit does help. And with the algebra, we offered semester two sections of that. TJ and I worked very closely together. I think he was boarding a plane and sending me the list of students. We called every single one of those parents of those students and said, will you send your child to summer school? So that then because they passed first semester algebra, they needed second semester so they could go on to geometry. So we got 2 sections through summer school so that we have now 50 students who wouldn't have been able to take it this year are now enrolled in geometry. So that was a wonderful thing as well. So it was really tailored to meet the needs of our students. So
Last year when we tried that, I think we ran a course after school.
We did.
Catch kids. Did we catch kids today? Did they got that math credit?
Yes.
You know? Did
Yes.
that help?
Yes.
Did it help?
yeah, that we got a class of
Right.
kids. We cover credit that way as well. So
Good.
yes, it did. Yeah. So do you guys have any questions for?
Gina, I noticed
Sure.
in your write-up, you talked about maybe the preference going forward for a day and nighttime study.
Like a morning and afternoon?
Morning and afternoons. Currently, it was just,
We just run 8 to 12.
okay. So, I mean, I know it's too early to talk about it, but would it be incremental cost, or is it, do you think you need to attract more students? Do you feel like, because of jobs, that prevents some kids from coming, or what's the rationale behind that?
Well, for some students, I mean, those students that are attending, they find a way to get there, either through the bus transportation or, and again, so many of our students wouldn't be able to attend if we didn't have the bus transportation. And I know that's a huge cost, but it's really necessary for them. But for some of our students, being able to make up a full year, let's just say in a math class, for example, algebra, some of them need to make up a full year of that, and they can only make up a semester with the rates being offered now. If we were to open that up, it would give them the ability to perhaps make up a full year of humanities or math or social studies or literacy perhaps. So.
Jessica?
I have a question. I don't know, either one of you might be able to answer it. In the IRSP, I saw that our high school graduation rate has went down. Is that number included for summer school?
There were 10 of them that were there's an addendum that you can add on to the graduation rate, so 10 of them went on for our.
So it does, okay.
Yes.
You will increase the
Yes.
2012 graduation rate.
Okay.
Other questions for Dr. Huber? Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. Item 6 on our agenda is non-business consent agenda. It's been recommended that the Board of Education approve the non-business consent agenda, items A through H. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Colin Barnes?
Yes.
Nina Fontana?
Yes.
Jessica Lyons?
Yes.
Tom Mattia?
Yes.
Mike Burbick?
Yes.
Tracy White?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
For the personnel report, I don't know if it's a board question. I would like to see, because I know that that was one of our things, was talking about, and even in Taylor's report, talking about the diversity. Is it possible that we can get the numbers and where we're at as we're hiring new faculty and staff? Are you guys okay with that? Okay, thank you.
Items.
I have an amendment to our personnel agenda that I don't know if we need to approve it first and then I'll make a motion to amend it. I'm not sure how that
You
happens.
make the motion, second, and then you amend it.
Okay, you got it.
Okay. All right, it's, trying to think, that's not, that wasn't including what we just approved.
No,
No, it's in
it's the
that.
personnel agenda. Personnel.
All right, it's been, I'm trying to think here. We just approved this. We just did this. So we have both of these will be
Right. Oh, I think we got it actually.
You got, don't you have to pull it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's written here is a little confusing. All right.
I'm amending it to
That's
remove.
been, we approved,
Move personnel. Okay.
we
All right.
approved the personnel agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should
It's bunched up together.
It was.
Oh, and the non-business
Yeah,
consent agenda.
yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what, that's what,
I didn't
that's
catch
what I'm
that.
confused about.
Right.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm
That was
sorry.
included in that. Sorry.
So,
It's already been moved.
can undo what we, really? Okay.
We can revise
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
revise, we'll make the correction next
I don't know
meeting.
how, but I took it away.
We'll just revise it next meeting.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'll think of the wheel, I guess.
Sorry.
No, we'll
It was a bunch.
put it back next meeting.
All right.
Okay. Approval of the letter of agreement with the FDOSP. The Board of Education approved the letter of agreement with the FDOSP for the traveling.
Actually, that's part of this.
That was all approved.
This is just, it's getting used to the new format, because we're used to an old format.
All right. There's mud. All right, business consent agenda. We have two items on the business consent agenda. Item, approval of the reorganization for business and human resource departments, and approval of backup snow removal services. This is approval to go out to bid. We're not actually making the approval for that. Again, this is for backup items.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tina Fontana?
Yes.
Jessica Lyons?
Yes.
Tom Mattia?
Yes.
Mike Burbick?
Yes.
Tracy Williams?
Yes.
Colin Barnes?
Item number 8, business and finance, copier contract. Andrew, this is an information item tonight.
Correct. And it's just to inform you that we're at the first step to let you know that the contract will be expiring, and we're exploring perhaps some other opportunities. Not certain what that will look like, but at the next meeting, you'll have to take action on that. This contract expires at the end of September, so we need to be ready by October 1st to move in either a different direction or bring just a different service to that.
I just noticed in some, we purchased the old copies for $1,
Right.
but obviously we still have to have a service contract.
Right. And some of those may have outlived their lifespan.
Sure.
So we need to go through that evaluation process on which ones we would, take out of this service contract and which ones we would maintain.
Is this throughout the district?
This is throughout the district,
Okay, very good.
with the exception of those.
They're always on their own. Andrea, when you bring this information next meeting, will you let us know, for instance, how many copiers for how many staff members per building? Because I know that's always been an issue. It seems like we don't have enough copiers and they're so overused, and then they're always broken down. So I think it'd be helpful if we could see how many in the building and for how many staff members. Okay, thank you.
And Andrew, while we're on business and finance, will be the next meeting, you'll be bringing final approval of the budget?
Yes,
Okay.
the budget adoption.
Right. Okay, any other questions for Andrew about moving ahead with this? We'll wait and see what she brings forward next meeting.
I just want to take a moment and publicly recognize Andrea and Brenda Jurgens and those folks she was talking about. I know she briefly mentioned it, but she's not going to give herself credit, but the busing after school, the busing before school seemed to be on target. We definitely, as smooth as things went, we definitely had some issues after school coordinating buses, and that happens, that's pretty typical, but her and Brenda were here probably till 10 o'clock every night last week, and back, early in the morning. I just, I appreciate that. And, you know, I just don't want things like that to go unrecognized, not that they're looking for any credit. So I just wanted to publicly thank her and Brenda for doing that.
I'm glad if you haven't heard anything from people. Our phones were lighting up.
I heard something very good today. Now, is it an automated calling service when the buses are late?
Yeah.
I heard from a mother just today, and she said, boy, that was wonderful. The bus was going to be 20 minutes late. She's a kindergartner. And she said it was just wonderful. In 20 minutes, it was right there. So she was very, very happy about that. So there you go. That's a good one.
Mike?
I want to thank Connie, you and your staff for the descriptions on the personnel report. Really appreciate that. It's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, we're down to agenda building. Anything for the good of the cause? I will say over the weekend, we got family building in the Mattia household. Over Labor Day weekend, I became a granddad again, a little granddaughter, little Audrey Jean Blappel, and both of her parents are DeKalb graduates.
I had Brad, yeah.
So really,
Oh, good.
really a happy time in our lives. So, and I caught my cold from my grandson who we babysat all weekend. Don't blame them. So, other items for the good of the cause?
No, I know that we're coming into all of the fun curriculum stuff, so to say with Justin, and how are we organizing it this year? I know it changed last year.
Dr. Moeller, would you want to talk a little bit about that?
I'm sorry to hear this.
The organization of presentations for
Curriculum changes, to make sure that we're on top of it.
yeah,
that we
so
get.
we get the school reports where we're doing, so any the schools that are making AYP with their strategic plans, he gives us things to address and talk about the strategic. How are it going to be presented this year?
That's something we're still working on as far as, you want to look at it building by building or just comprehensive overall?
Oh, no, it was up to you. I just wanted to know.
That's something we're still working on. In fact, we're talking about it both. We've got the career and the college readiness committees. It's addressing some of those issues, but we've got our first curriculum council meeting coming up that week from Thursday, and we'll be talking about it there as well.
We also didn't hear from KEC and Ombudsman this year. When are we going to get that?
We're actually going to have a board meeting at KC this year. You know when that's scheduled? I think it's this fall, isn't it?
We could ask Tom to have that presentation.
But we can have him do it before we even go out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike?
Come on, come on to the Castle Challenge. No press here. I think we get a lot of press anyway for the Castle Challenge. Should be a great night for football, and look forward to it each and every year. And I think sophomores start at 4:45, and varsity at 7:30. Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second. All in
Second.
favor? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
By far. By far.
Absolutely.
All the other times. I don't want to hear that.
It was moved and voted on, and then, and I got confused because I'm looking at how I printed off one, just like a call along. Some of the businesses, non-business incentives, like, let's vote on this. There's no vote on this, and then there's a vote on this.
We're getting used to
So that was already approved.
It's different.
In a positive or negative?
In a positive, everyone's very excited.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I like that. Maybe I would take a positive ending. Because I'm like, oh crap, we got that.
But it is
No, I remember, I was waiting for us to get to B in the personnel. And then I wasn't paying attention to the sentence part. Okay.
Somebody that designed it, you obviously
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
in the district block of Robert's Rules of Order.
My understanding was a year though. None.
They were all in yesterday all day. In the summer park.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe?
Sort of. Oh, no, we're on a well. Yeah, so our well went up. But we had a summer fire school to our house, so we were sick with no water. Oh, we're good now.
Wow. You are reasonable.
We're good now.
I gotta get through the next couple of days. Normally, last time I came back, if I get a call, I usually get a call every 2 days. I'm a little worried about this calendar. Summer calendar is the worst.
What I don't want to happen last year was frustrating is bringing
That's
stuff
how
as
you
late as
know these
April.
don't bounce back.
So
They last longer, they
right
hurt
now,
more.
May not take that one up personally.
Who's talking about things last time? I remember that.
in October.
So you still have stereo at your house?
Well,
And she's trying to head to the city right now, so.
We go over there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, no.
if we do the ombudsman, we do the KUC.
See you guys.
Feel better, Tom.
Yeah, who do I talk to about that bus?
I'm gonna follow up tomorrow morning. I got it written down and I will talk, I'll call you much more.
All right, thanks.
Okay, well, we're going to. Probably the best meeting might be next meeting. Billy and I get into a lot of stuff for October, November. So I might talk to Tom and see if I can get that in at the next meeting. Just simply because, like, this was a nice board meeting, but it's kind of, like I said, October, November, December are going to be presentation. It's just the time of year, you know, because we get our test results back. We have our CBM results and all that. You know, one of the things you see it. We'll have all this. We want to do, another thing we want to do is we want to lay it out so it's easy to understand. And it's not a 5-hour presentation, like, here's our data. You know, this is where our achievement gap is, these are the things we're doing. The other thing I want to do is come back and talk about the things we're implementing through the K-12 foundation. So there's a lot of things that we're going to have to squeeze in. These meetings aren't going to be like this all the time. It's